It's all about truth. All of it. Every single thing. All boils down to the truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free. All right, welcome to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. This is Dan Dix here, reporting for Press for Truth. We're going to be live for the next hour or so, taking your questions from the live chat, taking your questions from the Steemit. I'm going to wait and see that we have people tuning in. So far, it says nobody is watching, but I have some comments. Press for Jews. It says Rebel Revolution. How are you doing there, Rebel Revolution? Hi all, you guys are Zionist tools, said Bird World List. All right, we're off to a good start. Hello, Dan, it's Donald. Hi, Donald, News Media Canada. Press for Truth, says Bird World List. All right, off to an interesting start here, fellas. Okay, I am going to share this on Steemit, steemit.com/@pressfortruth. And we're going to be taking questions from the chat there. So bear with me, guys, as I get this loaded up. And then I'll hop back there every now and then to refresh that page. And we'll start taking all questions from the chat. Again, we're going to be talking a little bit about what happened in Jacksonville, Florida recently. There was a shooting over the weekend at a gaming tournament for a Madden football gaming. And 3 people have been killed, two people, and the shooter himself. And so we're going to be talking about that today. Okay, we got some people tuning in. 62 people watching. That's good. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. It really does help with the algorithms here on YouTube as far as this video actually being seen and, you know, my subscribers actually knowing that we're here live. So, yeah. Help us out with that. Hit that thumbs up button. Share this video. Send the link out. I still have to share it to Twitter. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to do this right now. Hopefully you can do the same. Share it really quickly right here on Facebook. Let people know that I am live. And then I will do the same on Twitter. And if you could do the same, that would be great. And then we'll get this stream going. Don't forget to put big question marks beside your questions, because when I'm scrolling through, you know, oftentimes a lot of comments come through. So it's easy to miss your question sometimes. Okay, live right now. Join in on the conversation here. All right, guys, if you could do the same, go ahead, share that out. I just put it on my Facebook. I'm going to quickly tweet this out, and then we'll be rocking. Let everybody know we're live. Get your questions in. Okay. Hopefully you guys can do the same. Post this link around, let people know we are live. Let me head on back to the YouTube chat. Okay, we're still there. We got people here. NASDAQ SE, I see the first question. Dan, are you buying gold? Yes, I think gold is a fantastic investment at this stage in the game. It's incredibly undervalued. I haven't purchased any, lately in a couple of years, so it's not like I'm constantly buying or anything, but I certainly do have some holdings. I think everyone should. You really got to diversify your portfolio, guys. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. I think gold is a good idea. I think silver is a good idea. And, some cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and a few others is not a bad idea as well. But yes, I do have some gold holdings. My only problem right now is how to store it. You know, that's often an issue for people who get into precious metals is, who do you trust to watch this? You know, do you leave it with the bank? Do you put it in a vault? Do you bury it in your backyard in a shoebox? Like, I don't know. What do you guys do? For those of you who do hold metals, what do you do? I know some guys who are really good. I've worked with the guys at silvergoldbull.com, I think it is, or silvergoldbull.ca. And they offer storage. They're really good. You may notice I've got my bestest little buddy here, Kaiser Sose, aka Kaiser Sosoft. So he may pop in every now and then on this broadcast, so don't mind him. His name used to be Super Cool, based off of a character from a movie, Kaiser Sose, but now that actor who played that character is not so cool anymore. So we call him Kaiser Sosoft now instead, but that totally works. Okay, I'm going to scan through here and see. Okay, I've missed a lot. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back and see what we have here. A lot of comments, a lot of people saying I'm a Zionist Jew for some reason. How are you today, says Jackson Dunno. I'm good. I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Okay, what's all this about? I live in Florida. Things are getting really bad here, says Shadow of Wolves. Yeah, guy by the name of David Katz. I think he was a 24-year-old kind of loner gamer who lost it. You know, he lost his cool and he shot up the gaming tournament. And I think what's going to be important moving forward, as more information comes out, is going to be to focus on the mental health issue. And I think that I really would not be surprised if we find out that this individual was on SSRI drugs or some sort of antidepressant, which has been known to link people to having suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies, a lack of empathy. These drugs can turn people into monsters, and I think that's something that's going to be very important to focus on moving forward. You know, we got to get to the root causes of these problems, as opposed to just, you know, the knee-jerk reaction, like the gun control, you know, the calls for gun control. Let's look to the root causes of these, like what sort of drugs was this kid on, and what sort of circumstances in his life, you know, got him to the point of being so like just a, you know, introvert, and not able to communicate with people at these tournaments. And obviously it was premeditated. He had the gun, so this was something that was thought about. But I certainly do think that the powers that ought not to be are going to seize on this opportunity. I don't think this is necessarily your typical false flag or anything like that. That sometimes craziness happens. There's crazy people out there, and sometimes the you know, bad things happen. Guys, I'm getting a bad signal. It says the signal is really low for some reason. Video output low, live stream health poor. Viewers are experiencing buffering. Let me know, guys, if this connection is decent or if it keeps freezing up here. And I don't know. We may have to try this one over again, or hang out, end this one, start another one. But hopefully the stream gets better. Maybe it's just a temporary issue. But let me know, guys, if this keeps freezing up. We may have to call it quits on this one. But I think we're back. I think we got a decent stream again. Renee says it's okay on your end. Okay, that's good. Connection is okay now on Jackson's Dunno. Okay, guys, so it's jumping back and forth between a poor feed. It says video output low right now. Rick Johnson says that the audio is good, but the video keeps freezing. All right, so we'll try this out for a little while. Maybe it's just a particular time of day. I don't normally go live here at home at this time of day, and I am in the West Coast, so it's just after 4:20 here in the West Coast. So got a lot of people probably getting home from work and getting online, and it's busy time to be on here. But it says video output low, live stream health low. So this doesn't look good. But for now, I'm going to hop on over to the Steemit, and let me quickly refresh that and see if we have any questions or comments coming into the Steemit. Once again, I want to remind you, steemit.com/@pressfortruth. This is the new revolutionary social media site that pays you to post. And, they're not sponsors of mine. I'm not getting paid to promote this website. But they do pay me in a sense, because they, you earn something called Steam dollars when you use the website. But anybody can do this. You can just sign up, steemit.com, and start posting or just commenting on stuff, and you earn something called Steam dollars. It's been absolutely amazing. So anybody who isn't on Steemit yet, I strongly recommend you hop on over there and check it out. Okay, let me get back to the live. Okay, so it looks like we're still got a low video output, it says. But I got over 100 people tuning in, and apparently you can still hear me. So we'll keep going. We'll keep going for a little while. Mountain Jim says your voice is fine, but the video stalls. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back here, see what I may have missed in terms of questions. Ad Ben says, do you think the media pushes this story hard to distract from other problems? Well, yes. I mean, we know that they often are used as a distraction wing, the distracting arm of the propaganda spin machine. So that's a good point. We always have to be on the lookout for that. This one in particular, I don't get the feeling that they're going to be going as heavy on this one, just because of this guy's, particular background, and it's looking like it's a lone kind of mental health issue, and that doesn't play into their narrative that they like to often spew. So this may kind of fade away. But again, I think it's important we talk about the mental health issue here rather than, the knee-jerk reaction of going after the guns. Okay. People say I keep freezing up, but you can still hear me. Okay, that's fine. So we'll keep going until it completely freezes. Peter J. Williams asks, have you heard anything new on the roadside DNA tests? I haven't heard anything new on that, Peter, but that is still something that is currently being implemented. As you all are probably well aware, Canada is set to legalize cannabis federally. October 17th is the date that has been set, and there's been a whole task force assigned to figuring out how to deal with impaired driving. And so they're now trying to develop roadside DNA tests with like cotton swabbing of the mouth and things of this nature. But, there's already been people proving that these devices don't work, that the science behind it is bogus, and it's not going to work. And honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do the first time I get pulled over and asked to submit my DNA on the side of the road. I'm going to want to say, no, I don't want to give you my DNA. I haven't done anything, wrong. I've never been fingerprinted ever in my life. I've never, gone through any of the TSA scanners. I've never had to do anything like that. I don't want the government having a record of my DNA, although I'm sure they already have it from taking blood as a baby. But it's going to be interesting to see how all these things are going to play out moving forward when legalization legalization, as I always say, eventually happens. Because for any of you who have actually been following this, you'll know it's not true, real legalization. We're seeing a monopolization of an industry under the guise of legalization. I mean, let's face it, this is something Canadians want. The federal government knows this, has known it for a long, long time. They've been getting their ducks in a line over the last few years to ensure that they can monopolize the industry when it does eventually become legal. So that's what we're dealing with here and now up here in Canada. And yeah, I don't know. I think somebody's going to constitutionally challenge that roadside DNA test pretty soon. And I will gladly be the first one. You know, this is why it's always good to have a camera in your car. I have a little dash cam that I leave on like the passenger side visor so that it's pointing at me and out the window. So if I ever get pulled over, just hit record and we can get that whole conversation, and I can document the fact that I'm going to refuse a roadside DNA test, because they're going to have to just suggest that they were suspicious that I might be high or something like that. And that is just ridiculous. They could just say that at any time and just demand your DNA at any time. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one moving forward. I think there's gonna be a lot of constitutional challenges against that one. Jay Kaiser says legalization equals tons more laws and fines and police tyranny. Yeah, exactly. I mean, as it is right now, you know, if you got caught smoking a joint walking down the street, they might fine you. They might not even do anything. It'd be a little slap on the wrist. But come legalization, they're going to be obliged to charge you. In fact, it gets even worse under legalization. If you're caught trafficking the wrong kind of cannabis, the not government-issued cannabis, you can do upwards of 14 years in prison. So there's still a lot of people going to be going to jail for a victimless crime for selling the wrong, you know, not the government-issued cannabis. So it's decriminalization is what we truly need. This legalization thing is really just a scam. Okay, let me scroll back. Peter responded and says, I hope so. Yep. We'll see. It's going to be interesting, like I said. Big tobacco will control eventually, says Edward Brady. At Lee Stewie just tweeted about this. Says Segway84. Jim Leahy. Hey Dan, did you hear about Alex Jones' tranny scandal? Yeah, I did. Just to bring people up to speed, apparently the other day on the Alex Jones show, he was trying to show something on his phone, probably something about the app or something like that, and he hit a button on the iPhone that opens up, you know, all the multiple tabs and other pages that you have opened in the back end. And some very keen observers noticed that one of the tabs opened, one of these pages, seemed to be some tranny porn. Maybe he's going to say he was conducting research. Who knows, man? Who knows? But I did see that it does appear to be not a fake screen grab or anything like that. In fact, I saw the source video. Somebody put a time code so you could see it for yourself, and I checked it out, and it was like, oh yeah, there it is. So yeah, interesting. I don't know if he's responded about that. I wonder if he's going to have anything to say about that. He probably will claim, you know, that he was just doing research or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. Really, it doesn't matter all that much. You know, I like to focus on what the man says. You know, judge a man by his fruit, they say. What is he producing? That's what's important. So I don't know. Who cares? Either way, it doesn't matter. Renee Nunez says, "How did they know it was a tranny? I saw it was porn." Apparently, the trans person who is in the video in question responded about this on their Twitter and was like, "Oh yeah, 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 that's me. Interesting that Jones is watching me," or something like that. Anyways, people figured it out that this is a tranny. This is a tranny involved with porn, and the person even responded. Um, so yeah, pretty interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Jones responds to this. He probably won't though. Um, but yeah, check it out if you haven't heard about that one yet. That's going around on the internets right now, and as far as I can tell, yeah, yeah, there's something to it. Jones is compromised, says Barney. I'm not so sure about that, Barney. I don't think that Jones is controlled opposition myself, personally. Having met the man many, many, many times, we've worked together in many capacities over the years. I personally feel that, well, fame and money can do strange things to good people. And I think that over the years, he has changed a little bit. Perhaps the ego has gotten to him a little bit, and that's my issues with Jones is that the ego may have taken over, but I don't think he's necessarily controlled opposition. I think I'm just not buying that. He's the real deal. You know, when you meet him in person, he's exactly like he is on the air. I know they say he's putting on a character, and he does obviously when he's on the air. You know, put on a little extra, but he's like that in real life too. You know, Bill Cooper hated Alex Jones. That's all I needed to know. Who cares what Alex Jones watches? Says Vahid M. Um, Adam WNC says PFT bears good fruit. Thank you for that. That's how you judge somebody. You know, if you really got something to say about them, take a look at what they're producing. I think my work speaks for itself. You can go back over the 12 years of videos I've been making over YouTube and use the search feature on my YouTube channel to look up what I may have had to say about any particular topic over the years, and you'll probably find a lot of videos about certain topics, and you know, go back. It's a lot of videos, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. Um, and I don't regret a single one of them. Barney says, Press for Truth, have you not seen the No More News videos on Jones? I'm not sure what you're referring to there. No, I haven't. Share a link. We'll check it out. Somebody's asking, Dan, are you or anybody in the chat room familiar with Jonathan Keck? No, it doesn't sound familiar to me. Dan, to whom George Soros is doing dirty works? I'm not sure what the question is exactly, but yeah, apparently a document was just leaked in which shows that Soros-linked organizations put out some sort of a memo talking about the plan to shut down right-wing conservative voices. So it looks like Soros himself may actually be behind the shutting down of Alex Jones. Speaking of Alex Jones, you know, so that's interesting. I did a pretty solid video on George Soros and the Canadian Connection. I think I called it something like that, George Soros and the Canadian Connection. Check that one out. Do a search on my YouTube channel for George Soros, and let me know what you think of that one. All right. Somebody says Alex Jones does some good stuff, I will admit. Brian Kerr says I watch Alex Jones all the time. Ryan Dawson has an interesting opinion about Alex Jones. I'm not sure what his opinion is. Can't stand that Mark Dice moron either, says Ed209. I like Dice. I appreciate what Dice does. I've met him. I've met everybody in the movement, and Dice is, I must say, very different in person. He is definitely putting on a character. He's really nice guy. Really nice. Laid back, cool. You know, he's putting on kind of a meaner character persona when he's on YouTube. But in real life, he's a nice guy. I like him. All right, I'm going to quickly jump on back over to the Steemit. Let me refresh that once again, guys. Steemit.com/@pressfortruth. If you're not there yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. I've made some pretty good money on Steemit. Oldman28 says video stalls a little, but no issue with the audio. Well, that's good. Let me show you guys here for a sec what I can do with Steemit. Let's just bring this up. So here it is, and I'm going to scroll down and show you that comment that we just got. Video stalls a little, but no issue with the audio. I'm gonna like that. I'm gonna give it 100% of my voting power, and you will see this guy goes from having $0 to all of a sudden having 70 cents that he didn't have before. Now this didn't come out of my own personal wallet that you can see here. I got more money to redeem. This didn't come out of my wallet. It's generated by the site, and I can cash this in for real fiat cash or bitcoins or whatever. It's pretty wild, completely revolutionary, and I really can't believe that other people aren't doing it, because as I said, I've made quite a bit of money, more money than I've ever made off of YouTube. As anybody who's been following my work over the years knows, that's not what I'm into this for. It's not about making money. If that's what you're getting into this for, you're into it for all the wrong reasons. There is no money in this. But it does cost money to continue to do this on a daily basis. So I have to, I have to generate some sort of income and revenue, and Steemit has been such a great way to do that, because it's a way that you guys can contribute without actually giving anything out of your own pocket, which is really, really cool. But we don't have any new comments over there, so I'm going to head on back over to the YouTube, and I've got the chat up on the window now so all you guys can see it. And we'll see who else we got in the chat. Jim Leahy says, Dan, I honestly believe you mean well and you've done great work, but Alex Jones is a Zionist shill, and I know you have met him, but he's a double agent. Look at the Illuminati card game. He's on the card. You know what, Jim? You may be right. Who knows? I could be wrong. I don't think that's the case, but you could be onto something. It's good. It's good, to be skeptical and have your guard up about anybody. Take it all with a grain of salt. Don't trust anybody in this thing 100%. Don't trust me 100%. Look into all the things I'm saying. Stephen Crumley asks, are you Canadian or American? I am Canadian. I was born and raised in Toronto, Ontario. I currently reside in British Columbia. I'm here in beautiful Squamish, British Columbia right now. So yes, I am Canadian, eh? I do say out and about, not out and about. And our stream seems to be better, but I'm not getting a super good signal here. Got a yellow bar instead of green, so I'm still not the best signal. So hopefully you guys are still with me. Joseph Brunel, hello everyone. Thank you so much for being a member. You must be a member because you have the PFT icon. If you guys have noticed, there's a new join button that you should be able to see just underneath the video here. And if you click on that, you can join as a member and get a little badge icon just like Peter Williams here has and Joseph Brunel. And you'll also get access to the once a month live stream that's going to be for members only, where we're going to talk about more personable kind of stuff. But you know, it's YouTube, it's Google, so I'm not going to put a lot of promo into this join button thing. I figured, hey, you know, it's an extra revenue stream, but really it's better to go to Patreon, or even better yet, go to the Patreon alternative that I set up. So go around Google, go around YouTube, forget about Patreon, and in the link located in the description, I have a Patreon alternative link where if you actually want to contribute on a monthly basis to what I'm doing here, that's the best way to do it, where, you know, YouTube's not taking 30%, or Patreon taking a huge chunk as well. If you do it the other way, it goes straight to me. Yeah, Edward Brady, YouTube takes 30%. Exactly. It's, yeah, that's a lot. So if you don't want 30% to be going to Google, I don't blame you. So in the description, I set up a Patreon alternative for people who want to go around Patreon and around Google and PayPal and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, check that one out. I think you can use PayPal to sign up to the Patreon alternative. But anyways, we're outside of Google and YouTube and Patreon. So check that out if you do want to show your support. And yeah, thank you so much to anybody who is a patron or a new member here on the channel, or who just, you know, donates, you know, one time here and there. Thank you so much to everybody who does that. This channel is nothing without you. You know, we're being shadow banned, we're being censored. They're trying to essentially make it so that we're not going to be seen. So yeah, we really need your guys back right now, moving forward, because as I'm sure you know, it's getting bad. You know, for those of us in the field of alternative media, they're really coming for us. But I'm not going to slow down. This just motivates me to really dive in head first and go, bang out as much quality content as I can. So I'm just going to have to keep doing that. Now, on the topic of Jacksonville, if you guys have any more questions about that, we haven't touched a whole lot on that yet. Somebody says, Nicholas Peter, get a Bitcoin Cash address in the description. I have one. Okay, I see what you're saying. I don't have it directly in there. I should have a link to where you can find all the cryptocurrencies, but I'm not even seeing that. I might have to update my links. Thanks for the heads up. But yeah, there should be a link to all the cryptocurrencies that I accept, and I'm not seeing it in there. Yeah, I see the PayPal, the Donate, the Pay, and the Bitcoin. All right, well, thanks for the heads up. I'll put my Bitcoin Cash address in there as well. And then if you go to the Donate link, there is a link to where all the other cryptocurrencies are. Anyways, ED209 says the psychotropic shooter. Yeah, most likely. Would be shocked to learn if this guy was not on some sort of antidepressant that caused him to have such a lack of empathy and to have these, you know, obvious suicidal tendencies. You know, it was premeditated. The guy brought a gun to this thing, and he clearly had issues. Some of the people who knew him were saying, you know, he was very self-absorbed, inclusive, introvert. He didn't really talk to a lot of people. You know, the announcer at the tournament said he's not here to make friends. He's all business. And he was all business, all right. When you can lose it like that, it's pretty wild. Jackson Dino, hey Dan, what is your thoughts on the recent alternative substance control like Kratom, San Pedro, Amina, Masquera, and others? Um, the recent alternative substance control. I'm not aware. I assume there's a heavy clampdown on some of these medicines that you're referring to. I know about the kratom uh, clampdown, which is ridiculous, and I think none of these, all of these substances, should be made available for people's medicinal use. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Um, but I didn't realize they're cracking down on San Pedro as well. Nicholas Peters says, I never got your response from the We Are Change live stream on Oregon Energy. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. I do recall you asked a question about that during the We Are Change live stream. I think Burmis just cut me off or something like that. Anyways, I've only recently heard about this Oregon Energy thing, and I'm very intrigued. It does seem like there is something to this, but I don't know enough about it to speak on it now here on the live show, Nicholas Peter. But thank you so much for the heads up about Wilhelm Reich and the Oregon Energy. I interviewed a guy on the street once in Streeters, and he talked to me for like 10 minutes about this, and it sounded fascinating. But that's about the most I've gotten into it, so I'll look into it more. Info Guerra says, do you see something happening in Syria soon? Greetings from the Spanish Infowars. Yeah, it does seem like Bashar al-Assad is making some gains right now. He's doing well. And when you look at history, you look at the track record, anytime that he manages to push back, ISIS or things of this nature, there's a staged chemical attack. It's almost getting so to the point that it would be ridiculous for them to try to pull it off again, because you think people would see through it. But they're that bold that I think they're going to do it again. They're going to try to pin another chemical attack, blame it on Bashar al-Assad as another attempt at invading militarily under the guise of this humanitarian mission. Oh, we got to stop the horror, this evil boogeyman. I don't buy it, folks. Yes, it feels to me like we're in the calm before the storm in terms of what we're going to be seeing going on in Syria. I think they have to get to Syria first before they get to Iran because of the ties there with Hezbollah, and it's really a proxy war that's gotten completely out of control, and I think we're going to see things change there soon. I mean, it should have been a huge wake-up call to the Trump supporters when he bombed Syria, that the agendas of the deep state were going to continue, regardless of who was in there. Sure, things would have been worse off for Syria had it been Hillary Clinton, but regardless, the agenda for Syria is the same, and it's not changing. And yep, I think we are going to see some more coming down, unfortunately, in Syria very soon. Brian Kerr says, I have a San Pedro growing. Not going to eat it. I've done San Pedro. We could talk about that another time. Let's see. White helmets arranged the next chlorine attack. Yeah, probably. Acute 33. As we know, the white helmets have been, largely responsible for faking all kinds of false rescues and stuff like that. But I'm glad they're starting to be ousted for what they truly are. Okay. Joseph is asking, did you guys see Pope Francis finally made an announcement to all the Catholic Church about the cover-ups with the child molestation? I did not see an official statement from the Pope. I'm glad it got all the way up to the head of the Vatican, the Pope himself. Whether or not anything is going to come of that, I don't know. It seems that Francis has been covering up, for these cardinals and bishops and things of that nature, making it look like he's, fighting for the people, but really he's covering it up just like all the ones before him. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully, this will all come to the forefront and be exposed once and for all. Edward Brady says, we had the Pope here in Ireland over the weekend. 500,000 people were expected. Only 130,000 showed up. Lots of protesters. That's interesting. When the Pope first came on the scene, I said the day that it was announced it was going to be Francis, I called it, that he was going to be responsible, tasked with forming the ecumenical movement like we've never seen before, bringing all of the religions of the world together under a singular umbrella, and he's already doing that to a large extent. This kind of socialist Pope. Yeah, I knew things were bad when the Reddit community was accepting him with open arms. I was like, oh, yep, he's fooled everyone. All right, I'm quickly going to jump back on over to the Steemit chat. I'm going to give that a refresh, and then we may call it for the day, folks. I don't have any new questions or comments on Steemit. And let me see what we got going on YouTube. All right, we've been going for close to 45 minutes. It may just be time to call it. We've had no new signups today, it looks like. Okay, we had a super chat, apparently. Awesome, from Nicholas Peter. I just noticed that now. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for the super chat. Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, BCH for me personally. I'd say both. I think it's good to hold both. I certainly hold both, and I will take your advice and put that Bitcoin Cash address in the description. For sure, I will do that. Thank you so much for that tip. And yeah, I'm not getting too many other questions, guys, so I think we may call it for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and for watching, for sharing the link. Got another super chat from Nicholas Peter. Thank you so much, man. Would love some honest feedback from you on my video. A message to all kids in public school would mean a lot, Dan. Also, keep talking about child abuse. I certainly will. Nicholas, throw a link to your video right here in the chat, and I will absolutely check it out. I'm sure everyone else in the chat will as well. And I encourage you guys, subscribe to Nicholas. We got to support one another. Anybody who's getting into this and watching this and doing the same things that I'm doing, I love that. Fully encourage that, and you guys should too. We need more people getting involved like that. So thank you so much, Nicholas, for that. Don't forget to share the link so I can check it out, or just send it to me. You can email me personally, or put it here in the chat window so I can check it out and everybody else can check it out as well. Yeah, if you are not yet signed up to my Patreon, you can check that out in the links below. Also, as I mentioned, we set up a Patreon alternative because Patreon might shut me down. Who knows? It's tough to say. Yeah, check the links in the description for that. And I guess that is all. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, for sharing the links, for showing your love and support over the years. And I usually end these with my buddy Kaiser. Hey Kaiser, come here, bud. We'll get Kaiser for you, so to say goodbye to everyone. Come here, pal. We're gonna say goodbye to the YouTube's audiences. Okay. Let me pull up the camera again. All right. So this is Kaiser Sose, my 3-year-old Havanese. It used to be cool that he was called Kaiser Sose. Now it's not so cool because the character is cool, but the actor's a loser. So now we call him Kaiser So Soft because he's very soft and cuddly, and he's just the bestest little guy ever. Anyways, that'll do it for today, everybody. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Keep fighting the good fight, my friends. Peace.